After that, what really improved my playing was focusing on strumming patterns. Strumming patterns, like if I play at a campfire now, people are fine with me playing for a good like 40 minutes without trouble. I'm not sounding too obnoxious. Another thing that's good, some people say practice and like if it doesn't sound good, just keep practicing. That's sort of true. Try to focus on what sounds good. And even though that sounds a little bit trivial to say, the point that I'm making there is like practice the other stuff just because you have to, but try to get a practice pattern where you really focus on just simple things that sound good, which basically will encourage you to play longer and practice longer, and also it will sound good to the people in the room that you're with. So they'll encourage you to play more. So practice that sounds like music and sounds like a good sound will have you playing more and more and more. So let's go over a little bit of some different strum patterns and strum techniques, which I think are just so fun, and people will just be like, oh yeah, you can play for a long time with these little strum patterns. So like you can just do pick patterns, which are my preference, and like basically with acoustic is the only thing that can do a pick pattern, pick, acoustic, and a banjo. Electric, you're doing a lot more strumming. With an acoustic, you're really doing a lot more picking, or at least it's meant to be picked, you know? And especially if you like country outdoor music, that's the way that they play it, like folksy music. So, like just one strum pattern. Okay, so like that kind of little strum pattern, I'm really just being random, but you see how I have the bass note, the low E or the low E or the low A, or the A. I'm playing that at least once, and then I'll play 3 times on the high string, and then sometimes I'll just have a weight, but it'll be like I'm keeping that kind of beat steady, and then throwing in like 3 hits in between. So like in this case, I might just be playing 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string. And then on the 4th, I do that 3 times, and then on the 4th measure, I'll commonly do something just a little different, and that kind of signifies that I'm about to move to a different chord shape. So. So on that one, I like hit it, wait 2 beats, and then hit the 2nd string. And then I'll move to D and do something similar. And so with the C, I just hit C and then boom on the 2nd string, and then I'll move to something else, A minor. And I'm just frankly very random with it. You can do a whole lot of patterns like that that'll sound pretty good if you just do bass and then 3, 1, 2, 3, or just any kind of bass and 3, any pattern of the 3, it's going to sound good. And then always change it on the 4th measure. Do it 3 times in a row. 4th measure, do something different. Move to a new chord. You can play that for about 30 minutes without anybody getting real too annoyed with you. Now, some other kind of patterns that I like to do, when I strum down, up and down, I like to use these two fingers. I don't know if I'm in camera at all. I think your first and second finger together make a good hit, or you could use your thumb as well, like I'll do. It's difficult to go up on your thumb, so down with the thumb, up with your first and second finger. And then some people just use the index on that. So down with the thumb, up with the index. And with this kind of a strum pattern, the real trick is the thumb only hits the bass notes, and then your index only hits the high notes. And that just, it sounds beautiful. Now, if you hit all the notes every time, it's not going to sound near as nice. A lot of acoustic, if you hit all the notes all the time, it just doesn't sound good at all. So it'd be like this, all the notes. And then another thing you want to practice is like the resonance. So a resonating G would be like where the G carries, and then where you do a muted G, you put your strumming hand, the back of the palm on the G. So a muted G would be like a resonating, and then the two together would be like, again, you do it on that 3 in a row and then change it on the 4th one. So it might be so you can kind of see how you get a little bit of a rhythm there. 3 in a row, change it on the 4th one, something like that is a very easy way to do it. And then so that's muting the chord, resonating the chord, and you alternate between them. That's a little bass picking pattern. And then that's really and the other thing I like to do is it's like the Spanish Flair. Now, to do it right, you need long fingernails, which I don't have. But for the Spanish Flair, you kind of do index, ring finger, middle finger, pinky finger, ring finger, middle finger, index. And you do them down real quick, like. And you do like a little flare pattern with your fingers one at a time. Or another way to do a strum similar style, you do all your fingers down, and that creates a really loud sound. So when you alternate between all your fingers down muting, all your fingers down resonating, finger pattern muting, finger pattern resonating, you really can get quite a bit of effect or whatever. So that pattern was all the fingers down, muted, all the fingers down, muted, flare, resonating, all the fingers down, muted. So that's what I was doing there. So that's that pattern. And these techniques take a little while to develop, but frankly, I picked them up pretty fast on my strum hand. The fretting hand took ages. Super glue was the big savior for me there. Super glue on the fingers really helped. You got to keep your fingernails pretty short, at least on your fretting hand. Oh, let me turn off this thing. Okay, and then Another kind of pattern that people do is like these knocking patterns. A lot of people do this. So you might do thumb, and instead of doing like that, you'll do bass with all the little high strings at once. Normally I just use 2 fingers. That's banjo style, where you only use these 3 fingers and you never expand beyond that. So it might sound like this. And now with that style in particular, this is common. You can do a mute right after, and then you can also hit your guitar as an alternating thing. So maybe you do something like this. So, okay, so with that style, you saw that it's just bass, all the high strings, or 2 of the high strings. And if you hit the strings normally, it makes one kind of a sound, but if the strings are resonating, it makes kind of like a snare drum, like a little snappy sound. And then you can hit the guitar as a different form of a knock, and you can just alternate between that, and that'll get you a little like a. So the whole thing is that you're getting different sounds out of the guitar. You're not really expanding on your fretting hand. You're just keeping between the ones I showed you earlier, practicing your bar chords and so forth. But this strumming hand can just entertain people so long, and no one who's an electric guitar does any of this. So anyone who focuses on electric guitar, they won't be tired of this noise. Only acoustic can do this, or banjo. And it's actually something that a lot of people never work on. So even very good guitarists, if you get decent with these little patterns here, they'll just be like, hey, that's a noise that's like very tolerable. I don't immediately say I can, I've played that so much, I'm so much better than you. They'll say, okay, yeah, just keep playing, you're fine. It sounds good. Great for a campfire. You sound like you're 8 different guitarists if you play for like an hour. I can do this easily 1 to 2 hours, no problem. An hour, easily an hour, without like boring anybody, really. And I often play while watching TV, especially these pick patterns. People talking over that, I just play like while they're talking as if I'm adding music to their dialogue. I think that's great. And then and you could try to move your guitar to like feel the vibe of the room. There's one other. Okay, so alternating bass. I'm gonna have a link to a video that does a really good job by Paul Davids, where he does. It's called Paul Davids Travis Picking. And I think that's the best introduction to alternating bass. I liked it so much. And so now a lot of people, even though I showed you the correct way to play all these chords, a lot of people will always play a chord where they leave their pinky free. So they'll find a way to just modify, not play the extra strings so that their pinky is free, so that their pinky can do little, they call it pull-offs and hammer-ons. And a pull-off will be, you play a note, and before the note is done, you pull off a finger. That's a pull-off, and then a hammer-on, you play a note, and you put the finger down. And the hammer-on would sound like this. So that's a hammer-on, and then of course you have your slides. And like maybe a back and forth, some people do. So that's your slides, hammer-on slides, and you got your bends. You play a note and you push it up or you pull it down. So, I tend to like, you know, you do it in the middle. I don't do a lot of bends, and you can do like oftentimes with the bend, instead of just doing a bend, you'll do it up and down like in a wave pattern. Like to get a little woo 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 effect. And then you can do like a little bit of a vibrato. Not a lot of people, I don't ever do this really, but vibrato, you just like shake your finger. So you create like a lot of mini bends. Just shaking my fretting hand. And then with your strumming hand, you can like leave your palm, the karate chop, they say the karate chop palm on the strings and play. And that gets that muted percussive sound, and it's good to play like that when you're in a house and you don't want to disturb people, you're tired of disturbing people. And you can do a similar thing with your fretting hand, like just leave your fretting hand not holding anything down, just hold it random while you practice your strum pattern. So you can do the opposite there, and you can like bounce your fretting hand to halfway mute, like. So that way I'm not muting all the chords, I'm just muting the ones that I'm fretting, and I'm just bouncing my fretting hand up and down to do a mute. So I think that's really like most of the random stuff you do with guitar that I can think of. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of the Paul David's Travis picking pattern. I'm going to do a poor job of it, frankly, because it's kind of difficult, but it sounds so great. Paul David's Travis picking, just look that up, and I'll have a link or whatever, and it'll sound something like so alternating bass will go. So it'll sound like that when it's all said and done. And that's like a lot of Johnny Cash music plays that way. A lot of your cowboy type of songs play that way. And the way he plays it, you make the G chord shape, but you use your pinky on the third fret of the second string, and you put your index on the first fret of the second string, so that you can lift your pinky and get a pull off. And to start the thing off, it will be second string and sixth string together. And then second string, sixth string together, then the third string, then the fourth string. And then okay, so the way he plays it is second string, sixth string, and then third string, fourth string, and then you lift up the pinky, play the second string, and hammer down. And then you play sixth string and fourth string. That's kind of the relaxed portion of it. So it'd be just playing that over and over again. So like that, and then you go to the A, and you keep your index finger where it is, and it'll stay in that same place the whole time. You make the A minor shape, and you get your pinky on that 3rd fret 2nd string again. You get ready to do it. So you play A minor with the 5th string and 2nd string together, and then you 3rd and 4th string. Like that, but so you do 2nd string, 5th string together, and then you play that 2nd string and hammer your pinky down again, and then 5th string, 4th string. Like that, and then you go to C, and now for C, you hammer down your index on the 1st fret of the 2nd string when you start your C. So makes that beautiful sound, and you play your 2nd string and your 5th string together, and then you're gonna hammer down the pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string later as well. So whoops. So you kind of get that little pattern, and then you just move between G, A minor, C, G, A minor, C. And you kind of just do that back and forth. And you can play that for a very long time without anybody getting really too tired of it. Anyways, I'm not gonna worry about it. You can look it up. It's okay. I feel obligated. Let me go ahead and see. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'll be messing it up all day. My fingers are a little moist from the swimming, and you can just see Paul David's do it. So, but really, with all these picking patterns that I do, I will just stick with CGD and practice all my picking patterns, just really randomly moving up and down, da 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 da, and my strum methods, you know, my strumming patterns, and it really sounds quite good. So guitar, fun. I hope you get into it. And once I did those two things together, just the basics, CGD and learning where it is up and down the guitar, you know, CGD, and then strum to get that like percussive rhythm, and then just, you know, 4 measures and changing on the 4th one, change chords. That was perfect enough to where people really enjoyed my playing at fires. So, oof, let me get up. Oh. Let's see if I was in video most of the time. Yeah, I think I was in video. Okay, good deal. Oh. So now this is just a little $100 guitar. So I don't, I got on Amazon. I don't feel any problem taking it, and maybe it gets messed up. Just doesn't bother me. I take it camping. That's one thing you can do with an acoustic you can't do with much other equipment. Now, an electric is a lot softer on your fingers. It's a lot softer on your fingers, on your fretting hand. So it is a fair spot to start with. And then, let's see here. Okay. Did I literally just do this for an hour? Can't be. I did. That's nuts. I knew I was going a little bit long. But that's okay. I'll, that's amazing. I was just talking and playing for so long. That's cool. So I was glad to go ahead and get all the guitar stuff and get you up to date where I was on guitar and hopefully get you started. And I just bought the guitar. You get the tuner, get a pick, get the guitar stand. All together maybe $200, and that will keep you entertained for several years, maybe a lifetime, you never know, and make your camping adventures so much more fun, make your campfires so much more fun. You're like adding to the music, learning music, getting better rhythm. Oh, I'm taking a little break here. Drink a lot of water before I came out. That's that there. Shiny rock. So, all right. Let's try to find our trail and get going here. Hey there. I got this thing charging, so I should be good to go. I really hope it's charging. And hey y'all, make a little video. I'll keep it here. I'll let you see some of these happy bikers. Hey, there we go. Hey. So this is the Creeper Trail in Damascus, West Virginia. And it's
Hello.
It's just downhill, and it's just like a 10-20 miles downhill.
Get it back together.
Doing great. Oh, this is fun. This is fun.
How's it going?
Great. So, oh, good. I thought I would be annoying people recording, but it seems like most people are tolerable. Love it. And also, you're like exercising. You're just in a good mood. Like, you can't be too pissed off when you got those endorphins going. Not with drugs, but just through the way that your body's supposed to make them. Just through the sunshine, the exercise. Got me a new car, new used car. Paid $4,000. If you're ever car shopping, I tell you, just shop nationally, and it's like $400 to get the car shipped to you. So I just shopped nationally, got this car, which might be like $6,000 or whatever, maybe $8,000 depending on where you live, if you try to buy it local. And then I paid an extra $500. The car was like $3,500. I paid an extra $400 to get it shipped to me. So pretty awesome like that, right? I'm not gonna bring anything with me. It's daytime. I feel very much like I'm gonna be able to make it back to the car. Oh man, that is so much fun. Okay, so let me just see if it's like, yep, the phone's like for the most part in front of me. And I'll show you the little map that I'm looking at. People just bringing their babies and stuff, and their dogs or whatever, and they're hey there, how are you doing? Making a little video of the trail. I'm gonna go about 2 miles up the AT, and then 2 miles back on the Creeper.
Oh, okay, nice.
I got I got a cousin who does kayaking ventures down here, and this is what he told me to do. So.
Okay, and I am not from around here, but my
Mhm.
friend over here, parking the car,
Okay.
knows about this trail. So,
Yes.
But I don't. This will be. I've ridden the bike where you start at the top and you kind of just go
Mhm.
down. That's all.
Well,
I've done.
that's the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah, or well, I think that's great. Now, did you do? Is it like 20, or is it about 15 miles? I think.
I guess, and it was really easy because you're going down. I mean, you're just coasting downhill the whole
Yes.
time. So,
Yes, and you can get the fat tires or the skinny tires.
Exactly. And Bruce, when we did that bike.
Yeah. It's recording, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Is that okay?
Do what?
Yeah, that's
Well,
fine.
okay, yeah. It's recording.
Oh, okay, yeah, I thought that's what you were doing.
Yeah. I can have it pointed away from people.
That's
I don't.
fine, you're fine.
Okay,
The,
yeah.
bike ride we did where you started at the top.
Yeah.
How many miles is that?
It's about 17 point something.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, and it's like maybe $50 a person, or is it $30 a person?
About 35 if you rent the bike as well, 35, 38. But I think it's also the time of year and the day of the week that
Yeah.
if you're probably going on Saturday or Sunday right now, it's probably more.
He's gonna hike 2 miles on the what is the Appalachian Trail?
Trail.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then come and do 2 miles on the.
Yeah, just doing that little loop.
That's good. Yeah, where you pick it up right down.
Wherever the T23, it's like 100 yards before T23. They tell me, and I gotta like cross the river maybe.
Probably.
I-
I know the trail comes down on 58 as you're heading into town. You see the steep
We just passed.
Yeah.
stairwell going up, and that's
Yeah.
coming down, and then you pick it back up further down.
Yeah.
You can have a great time.
Yeah. I'll let y'all get to it.
Take care.
Yeah, take care. Nice talking to you.
I like that compression.
Oh, I tell you, it's like so.
That's how they do it. Then I've seen. I watched YouTube a lot of people. I didn't know
I
how they do it.
I always wonder too. So this little thing, I'll show the camera too. This little thing, $20, $30, and this is about like, I could have the camera going for like, probably a full day.
Okay.
This battery's like about 5 times
So
bigger
you're
than the
operating
phone.
on that battery, not the phone battery.
Yeah, and then this thing's like $30. So
That's pretty cool.
that's all you need, and it's a better video camera than like a better recorder than most recorders you would ever buy. This is 1080 60 FPS, and if you know what that means, it just means
Well, I know basically what it is.
yeah 1080 60 FPS 60 frames per second. That's like what any sports, that gets you all your sports, your movement. So, and a regular phone, now this is like the smallest storage that any iPhone would have,
Right.
but and I've already taken up half of it, but the other half is enough for about 3 hours. But if you get like a more expensive iPhone, you could record like 20 hours on a regular phone. Yeah, it's best way to do. Hey, you guys enjoy.
Have a great hike.
Thank you. See you. Okay, now one thing I did not think about was my directions are on the phone, which I can't look up anymore. So I got a little bit. So this, the Creeper Trail chute, and since I can't like look up things on my phone, I can't really tell you where I'm at. Does it tell me what straight branch? This is called the Straight Branch trailhead of the Creeper Trail of the. Okay, you are here.